Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about how do you graph circles in standard form, so similar to the problem you see up on the screen here. Just a reminder, this is the normal version. If you want the speedrun version where we go through it pretty quickly, I'll link that in the description below. For your Ricasso Recap, you should already know how to graph points on the coordinate plane, and you should be familiar with the term of radius. If you want refreshers on either of these two topics, there'll be videos in the description below. Please go watch those before you start this lesson. All right. So here what I've done is I have given you the answer, okay? So at the top, here's how the problem started. Here's the graph, and then I've given you some information down here at the bottom. Your job is to, can you figure out a pattern, okay? Can you look at the start of the problem at the top and then figure out how did I go to the graph? What's this info down here? Okay, so if you want to pause the video, go ahead and see if you can figure out the pattern or the rule. Okay, now that you've had time to look at these problems, a couple of things you might have noticed. Number one, the center of your circle is always the numbers in the parentheses, but reversed, right? So this was -8, it became +8. This was -2, it became +2. So that's the center of the circle. Same thing here, +1, -5. Cool. Now, the number on the end, okay, you might have said, from the first problem, you said, okay, the number on the end is the radius, right? If it's a 1, I go out 1. But that does not hold true for this problem because I don't go out 9, I'm only going out 3. So what is happening here is this number is actually the radius squared. So if you take the square root of it, the square root of 9 gives you the radius of 3. The square root of 1 gives you the radius of 1 down here. Okay, so you take the square root of this number at the end. So let's see how this works. So again, it says graph. We take the numbers in there and we reverse them. So this is going to be +4 and +5 is going to be our center. So 4 and 5 is going to be our center. And then we take the square root of 25, which is 5. So from the center, we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. That's not 5. Let's try that again. This is 5. Got 5 in this direction, which is here and here. And then, I'm not going to draw a perfect circle here, of course, but there's our circle. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, your center is at 7, -9, and your radius is 1, square root of 1. And so here is the graph. And for the second problem, center was at 3, -2, and your radius is 4, so here is the graph. All right. What do you notice that's different about this problem? If you want to pause the video, go ahead and look at this problem, see if you can figure out what's different. Okay, now that you've had time to look at this problem, there are two big differences that you might have noticed. One, there's a decimal here. Okay, that's not a huge deal. Decimals are just numbers. But what's weird is there's no parentheses here. There's no number next to the x squared. And so what is happening here is there is a number, it's just invisible. What this is actually saying is it's saying x plus 0 squared, okay, which is the same as x squared. So when you don't see a number there, it's a 0. So the center for this problem would be 0, 4.5. So if we put that on the graph, that would be right here, okay, 0, 4.5. And then you just do, okay, the square root, the radius is the square root of 25, which is just 5. And so then you just graph like normal. I know that this is an ugly circle, but it is what it is. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these last two problems on your own. When you're ready, unpause, and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, center is at -4.5 and 0. Radius is 4, so here's the graph. And for the second problem, this one had a center of 0, 0, because there were no numbers next to the x and y. and the radius is 7, so here is the graph. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.